Hello again to another Agricola Reacts.
Hello.
And today is date night with Eric.
Yeah.
Hey, and we'll be watching a fellow to Eric.
Yeah, this is a American in Ireland, 5 surprising things I noticed by Wanted Adventure.
Isn't he great? You know, like reading titles and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
especially after doing it 10 times.
Yeah. It's only second. Only second. Okay. Let's just go. Let's just see what she has to say.
Ireland, you are amazing, beautiful, lovely. What a great trip. And you also had more than a couple surprises up your sleeve for me. Hey everyone, I'm Donna and you're watching Wanted Adventure Living Abroad. A few weeks ago, Mr. German Man and I visited Ireland for our first time, and it was spectacular.
Oh, I did see her a few times.
Few things that really
I think she lives mostly in Germany.
Or just little observations that I made. So today, here are some of those. We spent the first couple days of our trip in Dublin, and then we rented a car and drove around the countryside. And the apartments in Dublin itself did look pretty similar to apartment buildings that we'd seen in England and also some parts of Germany. But as soon as we got out into the countryside, one of the very first things that really shocked us about the Republic of Ireland was the style of houses, because they really weren't like anything that we'd ever seen around any other parts of Europe. But the style did still look quite familiar to me, and that's because, oddly enough, and this is where the big shock comes in, a lot of the houses in the countryside of Ireland looked like American-style houses. You had these standalone houses on
because they're just more modern.
Differing plot sizes. Sometimes it was quite a big bit of land, but
just
then
houses, yeah.
also sometimes they were
well, everyone
right
have
next
different
to each
perspectives,
other.
just like we were talking previously, though.
Big, long driveways, sometimes picket fences, basketball hoops, and the houses themselves, just how they were built, the style of the actual building, really looked like American houses, from the design to the front doors, the roofs, the window style.
Oh, really?
It was really uncanny.
I don't know, because it's maybe depending on the part of America as well. I don't think I've seen anything like that in California and Nevada. Did you?
Almost think that I was actually in the U.S.,
Yeah.
but
Just
then
like
I zoomed
I know there's a roof and the windows and things.
Well,
It's
they're
kind of
closer
like
together, but
and clothing lines hanging in the backyard with clothes on them, and I was once more immediately back in Ireland. Another thing that I was definitely not expecting to see in Ireland was Lidl and Aldi grocery stores, which, quick tangent with this one of my
I don't even know an
American
Irish
friends
grocery store.
visited me in Munich.
What's an Irish
and
grocery store?
she
Dumpster.
saw that
Is it?
there was
Super
an
Aldi.
Aldi, and she
Really?
was like,
Oh.
oh look, you guys have Aldi, because there are also Aldis in some parts of the US, so the brand was familiar to her, but it just really made me laugh the way she said it, like, hey, you have an Aldi, as though Germany had gotten Aldi from the US. And so I was like, no, you have an Aldi. Aldi comes from here. But yeah, anyway, I was definitely not expecting to see either Lidl or Aldi in Ireland. Another thing that shocked me about Ireland was the roads and the speed limit on said roads. Ireland has these lovely tiny little roads that really, to my eyes, look like they should be one-way streets, or maybe like 1.5, but definitely not 2-lane roads.
You can't fit two
Yeah, but
cars
she's
side by
American
side.
too, like.
Yeah,
Being
you have to pull over to the side, go on the dirt a
they
bit.
were also often surrounded by hedges and trees on both sides, and super twisty and curvy, so you couldn't always really see what was coming around the next corner.
And they speed in
the
the small
limit
roads.
on these roads
It's
was
insane.
80 kilometers
Yeah, you
per
know.
hour in
That's
some
what they lowered
places.
it now.
Oh my god, I could not believe it. It made me chuckle when I saw a speed limit sign on one of those roads for 80 kilometers per hour. And then afterwards, there was another sign saying drive with care. And I was like, oh, I don't know if those two things are compatible with each other. I have no idea how people can manage to go 80 on those roads.
Well, it's a
But they
speed
do.
limit,
The
upper speed
locals
limit,
were
not the minimum. Like.
definitely
Yeah.
speeding along, zipping past us, apparently no problem for them, but really, I don't know how they do it. But that was not the only sign that surprised me. So yeah, the speed limit signs looked the same as the speed limit signs in Germany. It was a white circle with a red ring around it. But then in Ireland, there were also yellow, what I would call American-looking signs on the road. So you had this real mix of sign style in Ireland. Some of the signs looked like the ones that I've seen in the rest of Europe.
Well,
and
then
some
I'm
of
not
the
German,
signs
so
looked like the ones that
you had
used
them
to
in Poland
see
too.
in the US. And then the way that English was used sometimes really shocked me too. Words or phrases used in a totally different way that I'd never heard of before. There were, of course, signs for house to let and mind the step, phrases that aren't used in the U.S., but I was already kind of
How about
used
mind
to
your own
those
business?
ones because I had seen
We use that
and
one.
heard them before when I was in England. But there were also a lot of new ones for me in Ireland too. Like, for example, we saw a sign for a ramp. Only what came afterwards was not what I would consider a ramp. To me, a ramp is something that really slants up quite sharply. So you have a ramp when getting up into a moving van, for example. So I was a little surprised when I saw this sign for a ramp in Ireland.
Or just a bump?
Yeah.
But after it, there was just what I would call a
speed bump.
bump, or sometimes in the U.S. I've also heard these more gradual sloping ones called a speed hump. That's not a ramp. And when driving out of a couple different towns,
you gotta learn some new lingo.
reminding people
You know,
to
if you're looking for a
belt
cookie,
up,
not gonna find
which
it.
I thought was an interesting way to put it
Biscuit.
because in the
Cookie
U.S.
biscuit.
Yeah,
I've
looking for a
always
biscuit?
heard it
Not gonna
as
find it.
buckle
It's a scone.
up, not belt up. Also on the road, I saw signs warning no verge where there was no curb. So I guess a curb is called a verge in Ireland. And in front of a school, I saw a sign showing where people could drop off their kids. But instead of being called a drop-off area, the sign called it a set-down area, which to me was a really interesting way to put it. I mean, I get it, but to me, setting something down is usually like you're holding a glass and then you set it down on the table. Or with kids,
I think he's kind of
maybe you're
nitpicking
holding a
here now.
child and then you set them down on the ground. But I've never heard it used as setting the child down at school or anything like that. And
My first couple days at my job,
Ireland,
boss got mad at me. He was the manager at the time because I didn't know
kind
where the
of
canteen was. I said, "Where's the
we were
schedule? It's in the
driving
canteen."
through town
The thing in the canteen is a small container of
Yeah, I
water.
remember you were saying that.
Yeah. And he said, "You should know where the canteen is. It's a break room."
The thing is that it's actually in Polish canteen. It's very similar word, cantina.
But I
Or
quickly realized
it's actually the same thing, like it's to both meanings, for like a lunchroom or the drink room. So I get confused. Wait till you learn some Polish.
Oh yeah. 30 ways to say hi.
So then I pitch and putt must
And none of them are how are you?
term.
Oh yeah, wait, we do have it.
But when I looked
Like
it up,
Shimas.
I learned that that's not it either. Pitch and putt, I went on to learn, is a smaller version of golf. It's a game of golf.
I kind of missed what she was saying, but
kind
kind of lost interest in that now.
Yeah, she's kinda ranting.
So my question
Not
for
ranting.
you is, have
Go
you
on.
ever been to
Ranting. Go
Ireland?
rant.
What's been your experience there? And what are some of the craziest or most interesting road signs that you've ever seen?
Well, everything is
Please
a
let
different
me know
perspective. The
in
thing is as well, I'm not sure where
Thanks so
in
much for
America she
watching.
is,
I really hope that you enjoyed this
but
video.
it's
And
different.
also
Like
a really
Poland
big
is not
thank
that
you
big.
so
It's bigger than
much
Ireland, but it's not that
patrons
big.
on
And in Ireland,
Instagram
it's
who
not
help
big,
make these
small,
videos
small.
possible.
But
Thank
it's
you so much
not big
for
either, in my
support.
opinion.
If
Yeah.
you'd like
But in
to
America,
check out
it's
our Patreon
massive
page, you can find
compared to
links
both of those
down
countries.
in the
Yeah.
description box
So
below.
when you kind of, if you meet
next
some
time,
American from,
I'll
let's say,
be
I don't know, Maine, and you're
So
gonna
I
meet
guess
with,
a
they're gonna meet with someone from Texas or freaking Southern California or something like that. They're gonna have different things.
Well, you gotta consider the United States, the 50 states. Consider the European Union to be, what, 37?
Beautiful, lovely, what
32?
Not
How
sure.
many countries in the European Union?
something else.
European Union?
Yeah.
I can't remember now. It's 30 something.
30 something. Imagine all those as one country.
Yeah, no.
It's the same size as the United States, right? So it's massive.
Yes, but it's a different history to it as well.
Yeah.
All the states in America were set as part of this country from the
No.
get-go. Yes.
No.
Yes, they
No.
were colonies
Half the
first.
United States was like California through what, Louisiana was Mexico? wasn't it?
Louisiana was French.
Something like that. Anyway, a lot of it
Yeah,
was
I
Mexico,
know.
and then some of it was Russia on top from Alaska.
I know. So you had Mexico. You had what was actually before that. It wasn't even Mexico. It was Spanish. You. Part of it was French, and part of it was British, and then you had Alaska was belonging to Russia. I don't know from when though. You don't even know either, isn't it?
Of course not.
Yeah, exactly.
American education.
No, but my point is that now when United States of America was setting up, as a country, all those states weren't part of different countries. They weren't different countries themselves either. The states were added afterwards.
That's the natives.
Eric.
Yes. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Eric and his thing. You just understood my point.
Yes.
Yes. So all of those states were added after, or even formed after, because honestly, how many states was in initially? That's 13, isn't it?
Colonies.
Yes.
Not
and
really
how many
states.
of them?
13.
Yes, exactly. So only those 13 were part of England, isn't it? At first.
No.
No?
Not all of them were.
They were colonies of English colonies, though.
No, I don't think they're all English.
13? I think they were, Eric. Oh, there you go. We're gonna have to, We're gonna have to find something and just watch that.
I know the French ones went to Canada, and the Spanish ones went to Mexico. You know, they weren't called as Canada or Mexico then.
Yeah, I know.
But
I know
the colonies.
Yeah. But the thing is that European Union was formed from existing countries, not colonies, not states. There was nothing later, nothing like that. This is all independent countries that they are forming, and it's this union of those countries. So each of those countries have their own laws. Yeah, you can look at it a bit like United States, and you have federal and state thing, distinctions and stuff like that. But it's not the same. It's just union of countries in the same continent that they can work, and basically that's what let me move to Ireland, because before I would need like a visa and stuff like I would need now for America or other countries or something like outside the European Union, and before I would need some kind of special permissions and stuff like that. Within the European Union you can just freely travel, just like in America. You don't need like special permission to move from one state to another to work and stuff like that. The same thing here, but this is not. You can't say it's the same thing like it is in America, because America is one country. European Union is not a country. There you go.
Yes, got it.
I don't know what you were trying to say, but you know.
Anyway,
you start correct, like comparing them together as one thing. So that's
size,
not right.
Size difference.
The size difference. America is
it's
probably
a union.
Yes.
They're both unions.
Yes, but still, the same thing. Like saying, like I like it when people, let's say, like some. Especially Americans, when they're doing some videos, like the one that I watched McJibin reacting to, when he watched this guy who was making like things that cultural differences or something between America and Europe, and in the beginning he said, I understand that Europe is not one country, there's different countries, everything can be different in every country. So the same thing in States. If you gonna have a conversation of someone from Maine and someone from Texas or something like that, they're not going to name everything the same.
No, because
exactly.
They're two different states.
Yeah.
Like two different countries.
No, I'm talking about language now. When they're talking, there might be some words that they're gonna be using it differently.
Oh yeah.
For the same item gonna be called differently. The same thing here with Ireland, Britain, Australia. All of those English-speaking countries gonna have different names for the same things. Like what you were saying about biscuits and scones. Yeah. Okay. That's my take on it.
Yes.
What's your take on it? What do you think about her?
You know, since we're living in Ireland, it's kind of like, I knew this stuff from experience.
I wouldn't be that surprised as well. Some of them weren't, like those, like she said that the yellow signs. I don't know. I didn't find them surprising.
I'm just driving. You look at the signs.
Yeah, no, very funny. No, but I'm just mean that it's they are in Poland too, like yellow signs. So and she's living in Germany, so. I don't. We haven't really driven to travel so much over Germany, so maybe that's what it is. Alright, have something else to add?
No, I think that's it. Okay. Yeah, I keep it at 30 minutes.
Thank you very much for watching. Yeah, it makes it easier for me to edit. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow and see Eric next week. Bye.
Bye.